Have you ever made a decision you thought was right, only to realize later that it changed your life in ways you never expected? At 85, I've learned a lot about life, but there's one choice I deeply regret: moving into a nursing home. At the time, it seemed like the best option. My family encouraged it, assuring me I'd have all the care and comfort I needed. I trusted them. But once I settled in, the reality was far from what I had imagined. The experience wasn't just about having meals prepared or getting medical support. It changed everything. Life in a nursing home wasn't what I thought it would be, and leaving wasn't as simple as I had assumed. If you or someone you love is considering this path, I want to share 3 crucial lessons I wish I had known before making this life-altering decision. Some of these insights may surprise you, and they might just change how you view this choice. Stay with me, because what I have to say could make all the difference. Regret number 1. Losing my independence. The hardest part wasn't the small room, the scheduled meals, or the unfamiliar faces. It was realizing that I no longer had control over my own life. Before I moved in, I decided when to wake up, what to eat, and how to spend my day. If I wanted to go for a walk, I simply went outside. If I wanted to cook my favorite meal, I did it. If I wanted to relax in my chair with a book, I could. But here, everything runs on someone else's schedule. Breakfast is at a set time, even if you're not hungry. Lights out happens when they decide. Want to go outside? You'll need permission, and you'll probably have to wait until someone is available to assist you. Even small choices, like what to wear or what to eat, start feeling like privileges instead of basic rights. I remember waking up my first week here, reaching for my book, only to realize it wasn't there. My books, my favorite chair, the little comforts I had spent years collecting were gone. In their place were sterile walls, a bed I didn't choose, and a sinking feeling in my chest. This wasn't my home. What surprised me most was how quickly those little changes wore me down. Each time I waited for someone to bring me a glass of water, each time I had to ask permission to go outside, I felt more and more like a child in my own life. I started questioning my own decisions, doubting whether I still knew what was best for me. The constant reliance on others made me lose confidence in myself, and that was the hardest part to bear. The worst part. Once you give up your independence, getting it back is nearly impossible. You learn to follow the system, to stop arguing when they tell you what's for dinner, to stop asking if you can take a walk whenever you want. And in the process, you start losing yourself. Before moving into a nursing home, ask yourself, are you ready to give up the little freedoms that make life yours? Because once they're gone, you'll miss them more than you ever imagined. Regret number 2. Feeling forgotten. One of the hardest truths about nursing homes? The world outside keeps moving without you. When I first arrived, my family promised to visit often. And at first they did. My daughter came by once a week, my grandchildren on weekends. For a while, it felt like I still had a connection to my old life. But as the months passed, the visits became less frequent. My daughter started calling instead of coming. My grandchildren got busy with school and work. Holidays were the hardest. They always promised to visit, but somehow, plans changed at the last minute. I'd sit in the common room, watching other residents stare at the door, hoping today would be the day someone remembered them. It's not that my family stopped loving me. Life just got in the way. When you're not around every day, people assume you're fine, that you're adjusting, that you don't need as much attention. But the truth is, the longer you're in a nursing home, the easier it is for people to forget just how much you still need them. I remember one evening, sitting in my room, holding my phone, debating whether to call my son. I didn't want to be a burden. I didn't want to remind him that I was here, waiting for a visit that might never come. So I put the phone down. And that's when it hit me. This was my life now. Watching the days go by, hoping someone would remember to include me. Before you move into a nursing home, ask yourself, are you prepared for the loneliness? Because no matter how much your family loves you, once you're out of sight, it's easier than you think to become out of mind. Regret number 3. Losing my sense of purpose. I thought I was just changing where I lived. I didn't realize I was also changing why I lived. At home, I had responsibilities. I had routines, hobbies, a reason to get up in the morning. Even the small things, watering the plants, making my own coffee, tidying up my space, gave me a sense of purpose. But in the nursing home, those daily rituals disappeared. Meals were prepared for me. Cleaning was done by someone else. The plants, they weren't mine to take care of anymore. At first, I told myself it would be nice to finally relax. No more chores, no more responsibilities, just rest. But after a few weeks, I realized something was missing. The days felt long, stretched out with nothing to do but wait. I saw it in others too. There was a woman named Margaret, 84 years old, who had been a seamstress her entire life. At home, she was always sewing, creating something new. But here, there were no fabrics, no sewing machines, nothing for her hands to work on, nothing to keep her mind engaged. I watched as she slowly withdrew, her once skilled hands now resting idly in her lap. The spark in her eyes dimmed, and conversations became shorter. It wasn't just that she stopped sewing. It was as if she had forgotten why she should even get out of bed. Margaret's story haunted me because I saw the same thing happening to myself. Before you move in, ask yourself, what gives your life meaning? Because once you move into a nursing home, finding purpose isn't as simple as filling your time. It's about holding on to the things that make you feel alive. I don't regret growing older, but I do regret believing that a nursing home was my only option. I walked in expecting comfort, safety, and a better quality of life. What I found instead was a world that slowly took away my independence, my privacy, my purpose, and even my sense of self. Does that mean all nursing homes are bad? Not necessarily. Some people genuinely need the level of care they provide. But before you make that decision, think carefully about what you're giving up. Because once you move in, life will never be the same. If I could do it over, I would have fought harder to stay in my own home. I would have explored more ways to get help without giving up my freedom. And I would have made sure I truly needed to be there before making such a permanent move. And if you're facing this decision, I hope you take the time to ask yourself, is this truly what's best for me? Or is it just what seems easiest right now? Because the life you have today, your routines, your independence, your choices, is worth holding on to for as long as you can.